Story number one. Title: But I Live Alone. I came home from work, tossed my keys on a table, and I found a note sitting neatly next to them. Don't forget to lock the window tonight. He's watching. It was my handwriting, same curves, same sloppy ease, but I never wrote it. I live alone, and I hadn't been home all day. I froze. The kitchen window was cracked open. I walked over, slowly, listening for anything. Nothing, just the wind. I locked it. My heart was pounding. I tossed the note in the trash and tried to forget. Maybe I wrote it and just didn't remember. Lack of sleep? Stress? At 2:17 a.m., I woke up to a whisper. Good. You locked it this time. Now I'm sitting in my bed, door locked, phone in hand, and I just heard footsteps in the hallway. I live alone. Story number two. I airtagged my wife's car. I lie in bed, pretending to sleep, keeping my muscles loose, my breathing even. After 30 minutes, she finally got up. Like I knew she would, like she did every night. I waited until she got dressed and left the house. 10 minutes later, I got up, dressed, and followed her. She was already gone, but it didn't matter. I'd placed an AirTag on her car weeks ago. I knew it was wrong, but I had no choice. I knew she was with someone. It had been going on for weeks. Most people might not have noticed, but I knew my wife. The distracted glances, the freshly soured scent when she came to bed in the middle of the night, the little smiles when she thought I wasn't looking. I tried to deny it, to pretend that nothing had changed, but I couldn't keep lying to myself. So I followed her, and I kept following her. I thought this couldn't possibly be the woman I devoted my life to, but it was. I told myself I'd stop, but I couldn't. I had to do something. So tonight, I followed her again. I pulled up to the dark house in a small, abandoned neighborhood. The kind of place that was once full of happy families before they were all foreclosed on. All the lights were out. I wouldn't have known anyone was there if not for her car. I parked down the street and slowly approached the house, following the footsteps to the back door. I opened it and crept inside. I could hear the sounds and cries and moans. I knew it. I waited, ignoring the sounds of passion until my wife left. Then I approached the room. Inside, I saw what I'd been afraid to see. A young man hung by his wrist from a hook in the ceiling, naked. He was covered in cuts, blood flowing down his body. A knife wound lay in the middle of his chest where most of the blood had leaked to the floor. Dead. Again. I took his body down and wrapped it up in an old blanket I found. Then I took it out back and buried it in the trees. Even though he'd been meaning to sleep with my wife, I said a few words over him before I filled it with dirt. It wasn't his fault. I'd been too late. Maybe I'd be in time to save the next one. Miraculously, I managed to beat her home. By the time she returned, I was already in bed, pretending to be asleep. But the way she lay next to me, the way I could feel her eyes on me without seeing them, I knew. She could tell. She put her arms around me. "Good night, my darling," she whispered. Pleasant dreams. It was a sick game, but I'd have to live with it. I had to. I loved her. And when I vowed death till us part, I'd only meant hours. Story number 3. Things better left unsaid. Your expression, for the first time in our 8 years together, is unreadable as I slide into the booth across the table from you. I detect sadness, regret. There's something else there too. I'm sorry I'm late. I got held up at work and then I rubbed the back of my neck, pointedly making eye contact with the flowers on the table rather than you. They had closed 2 lanes. It was a whole thing. I trailed off as my phone rings. I glance at the screen. Your eyes flickered to it. I send it to voicemail. I know what you're going to tell me, but I don't want this to end. So when you open your mouth, I cut you off, mumbling how I should have taken a day off so we could have driven here together. You try to speak, so it's a welcome distraction when our server arrives. Are we waiting on anyone else? He asks me. When I shake my head silently, takes my drink order, the mundaneness is a comfort, one of the last few I'd expect to experience in a while. Pretending everything is fine feels wrong, but whatever is happening with us right now is so fragile. I plan to cling to the facade of normalcy for as long as I can. My phone rings again. I flip it face down on the table. I wonder why I came here tonight. I guess something told me that, despite everything, you'd be here, waiting for me. You put your hand on mine. I know when the truth comes out, I won't be able to keep from falling apart. Denial is a potent drug, especially when mainlined. The waiter is back. You are starting to break down. He asks if I'm ready to order. I can barely keep it together. No, I tell him. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for my life to fall apart. I'm not ready for what should have been us to just become me. He looks at me strangely, leaves us be. The phone rings yet again. I stare at it, numb. You should answer that, you whisper, finally breaking the silence between us. I'm not ready. I choke back the sob, and you squeeze my hand. I take a last glance up at your sad smile. I finally take the call, the one I've been dreading ever since I first passed the accident on the way here. Those weren't your bumper stickers, barely discernible on what was left of that car, I told myself. I saw the still form, a sheet to shield the driver from prying eyes, the only help paramedics could offer them at that point. But I told myself it wasn't you. You were at the restaurant, waiting for me. So I kept driving. Hello, I finally whispered to the caller. Mr. Grayson, we've been trying to reach you all night. I'm so sorry to inform you. The rest is lost on me. And when I look up, you're gone.